What up? It's the Grandpa MC coming at you with another video. Like, subscribe, share, comment. Let's go for a ride. Alright. So 2 days before the finals, Tim Thibedeau gets his walking papers. I was thinking that was gonna happen. I wasn't quite sure because on one hand, Thibedeau has had their most successful period since the 90s. And I know I was clowning Thibedeau about the way he was looking, and it was a reason for that. I'm gonna get to that. But Thibedeau just needs a great offensive mind beside him to take that responsibility away from him. Because in the case of the Boston Celtics, that's like the only time he won a title. He was teamed up with Doc Rivers, but on that team, he had Rajon Rondo, and then he had Kevin Garnett. Those were two huge leadership pieces that they had on those teams, which took a lot of the pressure off of Doc Rivers, most importantly, but it also took a little bit of pressure off of Tom Thibedeau because KG was a soldier. But you overlay that upon the New York Knicks roster. You got Jalen Brunson, a little guy that shoots a lot. He's a great offensive player. Nothing to take away from that. But I was saying repeatedly, when the New York Knicks win is when he gets the understanding that he can't dominate the ball, or it just the time runs out on him, because they're not going to win with him averaging 25 to 30 points. They need him to be around about the 15 to 18 range, and his assists need to go up to 10. For them to win, his assists need to be above 10. I don't know if that's going to happen. Then, on the big man front, where they had KG, you got Karl Anthony Towns. Now, Karl Anthony Towns is not the greatest defensive force that's ever hit the NBA. I'm trying to be nice to this guy because you can only imagine what his teammates was feeling like. Somebody like Josh Hart, who had to cover a lot of parts of the court. Wonder how he felt about Karl Anthony Towns' attitude toward defense. Because defense, no matter how they try to change that fact, if you're a great defensive team, half of the battle is done. That's the reason why the Chicago Bulls, when Thibedeau was coaching them, was a threat, because they played defense and they had some offensive talent. I mean, the schemes didn't always work, but they had some offensive talent. But Karl Anthony Towns, although he is offensively talented, his defense leaves a lot to be desired. And this ain't the first time that Karl Anthony Towns has come across Tom Thibedeau and he was left the last man standing, so to speak. A few years ago, Thibedeau was in Minnesota. Who was in Minnesota? Karl Anthony Towns. Carl Anthony Towns remained after Thibedeau got shown the door. So either him or Brunson had a hand in that. I would think both. And if they think they're gonna win some championships, or maybe they don't want to win a championship, but if they think that if their goal is to win the championship, they're gonna have to step. Both of them guys gonna have to step up on defense. The rest of the team, you can tweak it. I would keep Robinson. I would keep Shamet. I would keep Hart, of course. OG Anunoby. I would look into that. I would look into OG Anunoby, because if it wouldn't have been for OG Anunoby, a couple of games, if he would have been more sure-handed, I think that they would have came out on top. So, what's next for Thibedeau? I don't know. He might be getting phased out, because he's an old school coach. I was saying it plenty of times when I was on live. He's an old school coach. He had to adjust some of the things that he would put up with and what he would put up with. He had to adjust that. So, but as far as New York goes, see who they gonna hire. I have no idea. Maybe Mike Malone. Maybe. We'll see. I don't think him and Carl Anthony Towns is gonna mesh. Because if he had a problem with Joker, he's gonna definitely have a problem with Carl Anthony Towns. But that's another thing. Maybe Carl Anthony Towns need to go. If they get somebody else to pair with Robinson, somebody has an offensive talent, they would be probably a formidable team, depending on how Brunson understands what's going on. Another coach bites the dust. They didn't even wait no time. They didn't even wait till the finals was over. They was like, hey, let's go and get this over. Let's tear this Band-Aid off. So, that's pretty much all I got to say about that, man. That's pretty cut and dry. I mean, like, I will say this, though, before I close. It has to be one of the most interesting situations in the NBA of all the ties that Jalen Brunson has in the New York Knicks organization. He got, and Tom Thibedeau was his godfather, if I understand correctly. But Leon Rose, he got his daddy on the bench. That's a sticky situation. I'm gonna just say that. So that's pretty much all I got to say about that. Still waiting on the finals today, Tuesday. We got another day, and then it's on. Grandpa out.